If there's any fighting game that has stood the test of time and garnered a very amusing reputation all the while, it's Melty. This Dojin fighting game from 2002 was the pseudo-sequel to the visual novel Tsukihime, released 2 years earlier. Re-released several times later with new characters and updated mechanics, Melty Actress again would become known as the Bathroom Fighter. This was due to its low required specs combined with its popularity and highly competitive scene, leading it to be played anywhere when it wasn't the main attraction at tournaments. You know, back in the pre-COVID days. Cut to the recently released remake of Tsukihime in Japan this year, and Night Moon have decided to have Melty Blood remade, taking the form of Melty Blood Type Lumina. So now you don't need to bring laptops and fight sticks into bathrooms. You still can, since it's on PC, PS4 and Xbox One, but it's also a Nintendo Switch, so you don't need all that much stuff. Melty Blood Type Lumina is a 2D fighting game developed by Type Moon, Delightworks, and Soft Circle French Bread, based upon the visual novel Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. This title does have spatterings of a story, but they are nothing more than minor interactions within the game's arcade mode, so we aren't even going to start on that. This is a 3-button fighter using light, medium, and heavy attacks. Your fourth face button is a special shield button that you can use to trigger counter attacks when struck. To counter that counter, you've got throws that bypass the shield altogether, or you can counter shield yourself to bring out a new counter, which can lead to insanely fun clashes. Each special has 3 variations, light, medium, and heavy versions. The heavy version is a special attack and costs 1 magic circuit count. Essentially your super meter. You start with a max count of 3, and when you get down to the round, you'll gain another for a max of 4. Your arc drive super costs 3 counts, and your last arc super costs 4. There's also a heat mode, which slowly depletes your special meter and allows you to use multiple specials with reduced cost, allowing for some rapid fire combos provided you can land them. Gone is the moon style system from Actress again, instead switched out for moon icons. You can use these icons to perform moon skills, which allow for alternative versions of special attacks. They essentially function as a second special meter, which adds to the attractive chaos on the field. And it's certainly attractive. While the original Melty Blood was full of fun, crunchy pixel art, Type Lumina just looks better. Not too much better, so it retains that classic charm, but it looks smooth as hell in motion. The animations are excellent and the music is fantastic. The composer Raito is just showing off with this soundtrack. And that's just for the gameplay itself. The menus are stylish and sleek and the load times are next to non-existent. Even when playing on the Switch, it takes less than half a minute to go from booting up the game to being in the middle of a match against the body. If you're a more casual player, you might be concerned about whether or not you're actually able to use the cool moves without too much practice. Well, then we've got just the mechanic for you. Rapid Beat. By mashing the same button enough times, you'll trigger an auto combo which will knock the opponent into the air. You can then follow up automatically, which will end in a downward throw, or you can insert your own specials and moon skills into it for maximum style and damage. This is also an excellent way to teach new players how to experiment, especially if they're having trouble performing some of the fancier and more complex tutorial combos. Performing certain specials may be trickier, but the moon skills are performed by pressing heavy, medium, and a direction, whilst also functioning like specials. That's just a surface level scrape of the mechanics this game holds, because if I were to explain them all, we would be here all day. The regular in-game tutorials will do a far better job than I will, breaking down every minute detail. Once you've got a good grasp of everything, you can either run through single player modes such as your arcade, time attack, and score attack modes, but we don't really care about those because this fighting game has rollback netcode. This lord and savior of fighting games will allow you to fight your friends with a solid connection, even on Wi-Fi. In a world of COVID-19, this is incredibly important. If you're not dedicated enough to have a LAN cable set up, you're just here to play matches and have a bit of fun. But if you can't even play matches well without one, then the online modes are going to be dead in the water. But here, I can fight my friends over some terrible Australian internet on Wi-Fi with a stable connection and minimal to no slowdown. Melty Blood Type Lumina is an incredibly enjoyable fighting game that you will have a good time playing online with, even on the Switch. If you've got friends with it though, you're going to have a stellar time. The only thing I could want from this is more Type Moon characters. I really want to play as Aoko and Ryogi, my girls. Noisy Pixel is giving Melty Blood Type Lumina a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixel is a group dedicated to bringing you guys the best news reviews and more. Please stick around by throwing us a sub if you haven't thrown us one already, and ringing the bell to stay up to date on all of our future content. It's a new fighting game, so I need to ask, who are you maining? Because, you know, the game's already out. Like, you know, I'm running like Roa and Kohaku myself, so
Noisy Pixel.